CM Punk is one of the biggest wrestlers out there, and he no doubt gets ratings, money, and viewership wherever he goes. His rise to extreme popularity in 2011 in what is now called the Summer of Punk. It is the summer that CM Punk dropped the pipe bomb, beat John Cena, and ended up as one of the top stars in the entire WWE. This run was one of the best runs ever, and it was peak WWE television at the time, but it was quickly ruined by bad creative decisions, Triple H and Kevin Nash in a series of useless matches and feuds that were meant to bury Punk. Punk had enough and decided to leave the company. Bad creative decisions, a lack of respect, and Triple H were the main reasons for his departure. And even after he left, he constantly took shots at WWE whenever he had the chance to, reminding people of how much he hated working there. For years, the idea of CM Punk wrestling again seemed like a dream. As the years passed by, Punk tried other endeavors, and many accepted that Punk was done in the ring. Fast forward to a few years later to 2021, and Punk would shake the world and officially make his wrestling return in WWE's rival company AEW at AEW Rampage. His run at AEW was solid, but many felt it was too rushed, putting Punk on constant matches that should have been pay-per-view matches, and rushing him with feuds immediately with no actual context. All that paired with him getting old and having injuries. Fans, however, still see his feud with MJF as one of the best feuds the company has ever done. But it was his feud with Hangman Adam Page that started a chain of events that eventually led to a backstage incident at All In on August 27, and then him being fired from AEW on September 2nd, 2023. 2 months later, after a lot of speculations and anticipation, CM Punk made his historic return to WWE 9 years later at Survivor Series in Chicago, something people only dreamed would happen given the history between the two. This, of course, broke viewership records on social media with over 80 million views, giving WWE their most liked tweet ever and their most watched Survivor Series PLE ever. His return shook the world, and now everybody is eagerly waiting for what's next. What is the story here? What will CM Punk do, and how will his legacy end? Now let's talk about the good and the bad about CM Punk's return, starting with the good. Money. CM Punk returning means money for the WWE in various ways, more ways than you can imagine. When Punk left the WWE, he received what is called the Chris Benoit treatment. His name wasn't even allowed to be said on television, and his merch was removed from the WWE shop. But now, after his return, fans immediately rushed to the WWE shop to get their hands on new CM Punk merch.
Look at that, I just made you $1 million in ice cream sales.
And of course, his merch is now the top selling item on WWE shop, and he has taken over the sales. Even till today, he is still in the top 5 most selling merch in AEW, without even being in the company. It just goes to show how much fans he has, and how people are willing to spend money in support of their favorite wrestler. He just needs the ice cream bars now, and WWE would be swimming in money. But other than merch, his return to the WWE means more fans will want to come to watch the shows, to see what his return will be like, and what story will he be involved in. Survivor Series broke all-time Survivor Series records for viewership, and merchandise sales. Viewership for Survivor Series was up 44% versus the previous record set in 2022. With 17,138 in attendance, the event broke the previous Survivor Series gate record set in Brooklyn in 2021. And Punk's return moment has more than 71 million views across all platforms, making it the most social post in the company's history. Of course, these numbers are not just because of Punk. With the return of Randy Orton and the War Games matches, the event as a whole was a huge success. But Punk's return played the biggest part in this huge success. And now, with Royal Rumble and WrestleMania on the way, more and more people will want to tune in every week to see what feud will Punk get himself into, how his run will play out, and the speculations about dream matches he can have leading up to potentially finally main eventing WrestleMania 40. This return, paired with great booking by Triple H, even brought back some old WWE fans that stopped watching and made them interested in the product again. All of that will eventually lead to more viewership, more tickets sold, more people in attendance, and more digital viewership, which ultimately means money for the WWE. Other than money, it is obvious that fans love CM Punk. His name was always chanted when he was away from the WWE. He broke viewership records in AEW and broke viewership records in WWE when he came back. CM Punk is a superstar that has millions of fans that adore him, and is someone that can get ratings and viewers. This again shows why WWE is at the top, and shows how Triple H knows what he is doing.
WWE Universe is excited to have it, then let's go.
And actually listens to what the fans want.
It's all about winning them over. That's all you gotta do.
A big part of what led to Punk's return to WWE was how much fans were actually asking for it. And Triple H has always said that the WWE does what the fans want. And after weeks of people asking for Punk, WWE gave us Punk, and now the fans are knee-deep into the product. Another good thing about Punk's return is the amount of dream matches and amazing feuds we get to witness. Punk vs Seth Rollins is a feud that has the potential to be one of the best feuds of the year, that will lead up to Royal Rumble and even WrestleMania. Seth has a personal and clear dislike for CM Punk outside of wrestling, even calling him a cancer and one of the interviews. His reaction when Punk returned in Survivor Series, even though it was part of a script, showed just how good this feud can be. The best feuds are usually ones that are fueled by some real personal issues, and this one has many. Even if the WWE decides to take another road with Punk, let's say have him be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns, it will still be must-see TV, and it will take the fans on an amazing journey with its storyline. Even feuds with the likes of Gunther, LA Knight, The Miz, and even Cody Rhodes will create some epic moments for the WWE and the fans, which will make his return a truly great move for WWE's part. But this is where things can also go wrong. And now it's time to talk about the bad and CM Punk's WWE return. Where does he fit? In my opinion, WWE right now has so much going on, but so little at the same time. You have a WWE champion that dominates the WWE and is the head of the table, but barely shows up to events, let alone defends his championship. You also have a World Heavyweight Champion that is kinda losing the fan support, and a lot think that his run should end by now. And you have a handful of superstars that are waiting for their opportunity to grab a championship title. Randy Orton also came back, and he publicly said in a promo that he is coming for the bloodline, and this clearly showed a storyline being built between him and Roman Reigns. And if anyone can be the man to dethrone Roman Reigns, it is the legend killer himself, Randy Orton. But what about Cody Rhodes? His story is not finished yet, and people are waiting for his rematch at WrestleMania 40. Will Randy Orton feud with Reigns until Royal Rumble, then hand it over to Cody, or will one of them step back? Well, what about LA Knight? He had a match with Roman, and it showed that he is capable of being in the spotlight for WWE. But where does he fit in all of this? Should he go after the US title, the World Heavyweight Championship, or continue his run with Roman Reigns? You get where I'm going with this. Putting CM Punk now in the whole mix, and you have a series of tangled strings together, and nobody knows where anything is headed. But let's say Punk will not go after Roman, and instead chooses the World Heavyweight title. Well, this title also has many people feuding with each other over it, with no clear storyline. You have Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, a possible AJ Styles feud, LA Knight, and also don't forget Damian Priest, that still holds the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now where does Punk fit into all of this? Everybody is waiting for a Punk vs Rollins feud, so will WWE drop all the other contenders and focus on their feud? What happens to Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, Damian Priest, and the others that have been battling together for the past couple of months? WWE could have Seth drop the title to another superstar, and then have Punk and Seth have a feud with no title on the line, while other superstars battle for the belt. But of course, WWE didn't bring back CM Punk to have him be on the mid-card and compete in lame matches. They obviously have to create big plans for his last run, and seeing where he fits into everything the WWE is trying to build now is a bit complicated and could create some creative problems. Triple H did mention that they do not have anything planned yet. His return was a very fast decision that only happened less than 2 weeks before he actually returned, so WWE are also wondering where he could fit into all of this.
We're doing our thing, and we're trusted to do our thing and trusted to do what we feel is right for business.
WWE has so much star power now, and it's actually a great thing for the company, but it also means that not everyone can be in the spotlight, so WWE has to choose carefully and plan out their stories ahead of the highly anticipated WrestleMania 40. Imagine if The Rock comes back and main events WrestleMania 40 and Punk doesn't. That would be the biggest troll from the WWE to CM Punk in the history of the wrestling industry. Now, other than booking problems that WWE might face, it is Punk's performance and health in general. CM Punk is 45 years old. He's no longer the young athletic wrestler and in-ring performer he once was, and he is definitely injury prone. When he was in AEW, he got injured twice in his run, suffered a torn left triceps injury after defeating Jon Moxley at All Out in 2022, and a foot injury after beating Adam Page at Double or Nothing in May 2022. WWE would not want their hottest star at the moment to be out for a couple of months after making a historic return due to an injury, so they would have to play it safe by not giving him too many matches and burning him out. But at the same time, people want to see CM Punk wrestle and be the star he is inside the ring, so WWE need to be really careful here. And finally, the most famous thing that haunts CM Punk, his backstage problems and attitude problems. Many people, including Seth Rollins, The Miz, Triple H, Roman Reigns, and countless other WWE and AEW superstars do not like CM Punk. And mainly, their reason is always that he has a big ego, he doesn't get along well with others, and he is a bad influence and presence backstage. These problems were the main reason he was fired from AEW, and part of the reason he left the WWE. So now, all eyes are on Punk and the WWE. At the moment, the WWE is the biggest it has ever been, being public, and their reputation and PR is the most important thing for them. So having someone like CM Punk ruin their image with backstage fights and creating bad headlines for the company is definitely something they do not want. An interview with Triple H, however, showed that the issue is under control.
And if you are the same person you were 10 years ago, 10 years later, he's a different person, this is a different company, and we're all on the same even starting ground.
He mentioned that they both have talked together and fixed their relationship, and he also said that Punk is not the same person he was 10 years ago, and neither is Triple H. CM Punk also wants to leave a legacy. WWE is where he started, and being 45 years old nearing the end of his career, he wants to leave the industry on good terms and leave a legacy behind him to be remembered by in the WWE, instead of being remembered as the guy that left the company and trashed them all the time. So Punk is gotta be very careful in the way he acts, and even for WWE, if anything does happen, they can fire him as easily as they hired him. They are in a great place and with an amazing lineup of top stars that can all take over. CM Punk is not the main star, he is just one of the top stars, and if he leaves, WWE can continue normally, while Punk's reputation will be tarnished forever, being the person that causes the problems. So CM Punk here is the one that has the most to lose, and I'm sure he has changed and will make the best out of his run in the WWE. To wrap everything up, CM Punk is back, and it is exciting to see what the WWE will do with him and how his story will unfold. It is safe to say that it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. Let us know in the comments, who do you think Punk should feud with? Thank you for watching this video, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.